Imagine for a moment that your soul keeps a balance sheet, much like a bank account, not in numbers or currency, but in emotions, memories, and relationships. Every joy you've given, every kindness you've received, every love you've invested, it all goes into the credit side. And every hurt you've caused, every grudge you've held, every apology you never made, it quietly slips into the debt side. We often think about financial retirement, planning for the day when our bodies are tired and our careers slow down. But what about emotional retirement? What about the day when your soul finally looks back and asks, did I live well? Did I love deeply? Did I forgive enough? This is where the soul's balance sheet becomes real. The truth is, we are constantly making deposits and withdrawals without even noticing. A phone call to check on an old friend? That's a credit. A broken promise to someone who counted on you? That's a debt. Listening without judgment when someone shares their pain? That's a credit. Judging them silently, turning away, or responding with impatience? That's a debt. Think about the people in your life right now. Which of them add value to your emotional bank? Which of them leave you drained, as though they've taken withdrawals without making any deposits? And more importantly, which side of that equation are you on for them? Do you leave people richer in spirit or poorer? One of the hardest truths is that emotional debts don't vanish with time. Just as an unpaid financial debt grows with interest, emotional debts too become heavier the longer they are ignored. That argument with your sibling years ago, that harsh word to your parent, that betrayal of trust with a partner, those don't just dissolve in the air. They sit quietly in your soul's ledger, waiting to be acknowledged. Sometimes you don't even realize why you feel heavy or restless, but deep inside your soul knows there's an imbalance. On the other hand, emotional credits work like compounding interest. A single act of kindness can ripple through years. A teacher's encouraging word can echo in a student's heart decades later. A stranger's smile on your worst day can stay with you for life. These credits don't just make others rich, they make you rich too. Because every time you give without calculation, you build resilience, peace, and a deep reservoir of joy that supports you when life gets tough. But no balance sheet is perfect. We all have debts and credits. The question is, how do we close the gap? The answer lies in forgiveness. Forgiveness is the great equalizer of the soul's economy. It is how we let go of what weighs us down. But here's the part we often miss. Forgiveness isn't only something we offer others. It's also something we owe ourselves. Think about the things you carry, mistakes you made years ago, regrets that still make your chest tighten, choices that haunt you in the quiet of the night. These are self-imposed debts. You keep replaying them, punishing yourself over and over, as if carrying the guilt will somehow erase it. But it doesn't. It only depletes you. Emotional retirement requires you to forgive yourself, to mark those debts as paid, and to finally move forward. When you forgive others, you stop letting their actions have power over your peace. When you forgive yourself, you stop letting your past have power over your future. Both are essential. Both are deposits that enrich your emotional balance sheet. So how do you know if your soul is in credit or debt? You know it by the way you feel at the end of the day. Do you fall asleep with a quiet heart, or do you toss and turn with restless thoughts? Do you feel lighter when you think of your relationships, or heavier? Do you find yourself replaying the warmth of kind moments, or replaying the sting of unresolved conflicts? Your balance sheet whispers to you every day. You just have to listen. Now let's take this deeper. Imagine yourself at the end of your life, sitting in your favorite chair, looking back at all the years behind you. What would you want that final balance sheet to show? Would you want it overflowing with credits of love, patience, laughter, generosity? Would you want the debts minimal, settled, forgiven? Or would you see pages of grudges, regrets, and apologies you never gave? The beautiful thing is, emotional retirement is not about age. It's about awareness. You don't have to wait until the end. You can start now. You can start by calling that person you've been avoiding. You can start by writing the apology you've been afraid to send. You can start by saying, "I forgive you," even if the other person never admits they were wrong. And most importantly, you can start by saying to yourself, "I forgive me. I was younger then. I didn't know better. But now I do." Every time you do this, you add to your credits. Every time you let go, you lighten the debts. Every time you choose compassion over anger, you balance your account. This is emotional wealth. This is the currency of the soul. In the end, the question isn't how much money you saved, but how much love you gave. It isn't how many awards you won, but how many people you lifted. It isn't how perfectly you lived, but how completely you forgave. That's the true measure of a well-lived life. That's the true balance sheet. So tonight, I invite you to do a quiet audit of your soul. Ask yourself, who do I owe forgiveness to? Who do I need to seek forgiveness from? And what small deposits of kindness can I make tomorrow? Start with just one. Send a message. Offer a smile. Say thank you. Write down a regret and then write "paid in full" across it. These small acts are not small at all. They are the credits that will one day give you the peace of an emotionally secure retirement. And when that day comes, when you look back at your life, may your balance sheet be filled with more love than loss, more credits than debts, and the sweet freedom that comes only through forgiveness. Because in the end, that is the wealth you take with you.